Hello there, it's Kenya Posey here in Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada area. Hashtag the agent that cares. So this is another episode of Care About Real Estate. So I want to hop out here really quick because lately here in the spring market, we've been getting a lot of questions, especially from first-time home buyers about how to get started. What is the process of purchasing a home? So let's just get started real quick about getting started in the process and where you need to start. So first things first is reaching out to your trusted real estate agent like myself. I don't only service the Las Vegas and Henderson, Nevada area. I can actually help you across the globe. Myself and my team are actually set up in every state and actually overseas as well in different parts of the country where I can actually assist you there as well and get you pointed to the right person. But the first step is starting with your trusted real estate agent, and that is someone like myself. Number two is going to be taking a call to actually take a chat to actually do a buyer consultation, to have that time to sit with the agent to discuss what your buyer needs are going to be and your time frame, because it's very important to make sure that you actually have a realistic time frame, especially if you're looking at needing to move immediately. We need to immediately get you with a lender, especially to get you started, because as a real estate agent, we're not the person that's actually going to be approving your loan and actually giving you home ready when it comes to receiving that mortgage approval. But the first thing is, like I said, we work with trusted lenders, so we're going to actually know who to actually send you to and what lender is going to be a good fit for you, because it may be different lenders who do different things and actually specialize with different programs. Say, for instance, I got one of my lenders that actually do strong on VA buyers, so I make sure I actually send that lender a lot of my VA buyers. All lenders can do VAs, but again, there are some lenders who actually specialize with VA. So I would match you up with my trusted lender. So let's get into actually seeing about, are you really ready to purchase your very first home? Most importantly, the thing is, if you're currently paying rent, you're actually paying a mortgage already. It's just not your own mortgage. So we actually want to put you in position to win and actually start building generational wealth for yourself, which is paying your own mortgage and building wealth for yourself and firing that landlord. So let's get into some of the things to get you ready for purchasing of your very first home. First, we're going to discuss your credit. Have you taken a look at your FICO score to see where you are currently with your FICO scores? Now, the FICO scores you actually generally see online in your experience, and that's going to be your typical mortgage FICO scores, but it's going to give you a starting point. Also, those who don't have those FICO scores, also tell them, take a look at your Credit Karma, which is not a FICO score. It is a Vantage score. It actually only takes a look at two of the bureaus. So again, those of you guys who actually say, oh, my Credit Karma has me one thing, but again, your FICO score says something else. But again, your mortgage lender is actually going to pull a whole different number as well, too. But at least you have a starting point to know what your credit actually looks like. And I like people who actually know a general idea of what they're looking at monthly when it comes to your FICO scores, because it's very important to keep up with what's going on with your credit. Lenders right now typically will want you at around a 620 to 640, especially when it comes to down payment assistance programs for those who are looking at trying to come out of their pocket as less money as possible and receive the down payment assistance. So again, we want you around that 620, 640 credit point for you when it comes to getting you credit ready. There are some programs actually as low as FHA, it goes down as low as 580. However, just know that it may not be any down payment assistance available to you at a 580. So that's what we're going to make sure we get you before lender, so that way we can see where your scores are to actually get you home ready to get a better interest rate for yourself and actually get you some funds for your down payment assistance. Number two is going to be, do you have money saved? Now, a lot of people think that I can't buy a home because I don't have 20% saved, and that is a myth. You do not need 20% saved to actually purchase a home. Typically, for my FHA first-time home buyers, that is going to be 3.5% down. So that means if you were buying a home for $350,000, that means your down payment is going to be $12,250,000. And again, you may qualify for the down payment assistance program, but that's nowhere near 20% down on a home. For conventional buyers, it's going to be anywhere from 3 to 5% down. So again, it's very important that you do know and understand that you're not required to put 10 or 20% down on your very first home. So let's debunk that myth there, debut that myth. Let's get rid of that myth there, so that way you know that you don't have to put that 10 to 20% down as a first-time home buyer. Secondly, we're going to make sure you have enough funds for your upfront funds already in that bank, because your down payment, your closing cost fees actually be at you, that you're going to actually put down actually at your 30-day mark when you actually get ready to close, which typically a closing period is going to be from your contract acceptance to closing will take about 30 to 45 days. When it comes to that time period, what you need up front, once we started writing out the contract, there's going to be 3 upfront fees that we actually have here in the state of Nevada. One of the things is going to be your earnest money deposit. Typically, your earnest money deposit is going to be about 1% of the house price. So say, for instance, you're actually on a contract for a $400,000 home. Typically, that earnest money is going to be about $4,000. However, your agent and myself, we actually can negotiate that amount down further if you would like to, and we actually send an offer over. But typically, you'll see your earnest money around 1% of the house price. Then, once your offer is accepted, we're actually going to get that inspection scheduled with the inspector. So you're actually going to pay your inspector. Typically, going to be based off the square footage of the property and whether that property has a pool in the home, because the pool that's going to be an extra cost to the inspector to inspect. So most typical inspections going to probably start around $295 and range from $295 up to the $500 mark, depending on the square footage of the home. And then it's going to be your appraisal. Your lender's actually going to collect your appraisal once they get all your disclosures and everything completed and you're past your inspection period. The lender is actually going to price you out for your appraisal to get ordered. And next is going to be your appraisal. Your lender's actually going to get you disclosures and everything sent out to you and give you your appraisal price, which will be paid directly to your lending company. And that can be anywhere. I've seen it anywhere lately, anywhere from around $600 to $700. So again, your upfront fees are going to be your earnest money, your inspection, and your appraisal. And those are going to be your 3 upfront funds as a buyer when you actually go up on a contract. Then we're going to start moving into when you actually come into the closing table. Once you get all your disclosures and all your fees and everything set up with your title company, they're actually going to send you over your closing disclosure 3 days prior to your closing to review your numbers. And that's where you'll see your down payment and your closing cost fees. Closing cost fees are typically anywhere from 1% to 2%. However, like myself right now in this market, most agents, we're actually trying to get the seller to pay for those closing fees for you on your behalf. So when we write up your offer, we're actually going to be asking the seller to see if they can actually assist you with some of those closing fees. Does that always happen in every situation, every single situation? No, it does not. But we do our best to negotiate that on your behalf. You have to go back and take a look at one of my other prior buyers when she actually got a check back at closing. Go check that video out. That was a great day to see a first-time home buyer. She actually got all her earnest money deposit back at closing table. So we were able to negotiate some closing fees from her seller. So that was a great closing. And again, does that typically happen on every single transaction? No, but we do our best to have you come as little as out of pocket. When it comes to down payment assistance, you guys can always check with the lenders to see what programs are available. Right now, there are some great programs available. Some programs right now that are currently seasonal or based on budgeting. We now have the WISH grant funds available here in Clark County. There is some income limits to that program and some stipulations, so you actually can reach out to me for those guidelines and I can email them out to you. But those WISH grant funds are available for those who qualify and while the funds last. They typically actually start getting released and dispersed around April, and they can last up until they run out, because a lot of people may qualify for that. So check into those funds right now to see if you're available for that. Also, some of my other lenders have some great programs going on right now. When it comes to their down payment programs, they actually have some buy down programs as well for you to buy down your rates, to save you some money that way as well too. So reach out to me, my first time home buyers, if you're ready to get started in the process. I hope this helped you guys get started on where to do, how to get started, and where to go. You guys have a blessed and amazing day. This is Kenya Posey, hashtag the agent that cares. Give me a call at 702-401-8733 if you got any further questions. Hey you guys, I hope this helped you guys during the home buying process and knowing where to start. First, give me a call at 401-8733. I am here to assist you. I am Kenya Posey here in Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada area. Hashtag the agent that cares. Have a blessed and amazing day.